Good morning. It is 10:39 a.m. on Saturday, July 10th, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Boy, it's funny. I really slept in last night. Wasn't even really up that late, but when your body needs it, I guess. One brief um, note is that I used a heating pad last night, kind of trying to see if that would, help with my back, and it did a little. Like didn't just like make the problem go away, but it was better. So that's good. Um, but last night I went to the theater to see Black Widow. Now, first, it was a brand new movie theater. I don't know how long it's actually been there, but can't be very long. Um, that is actually, it's like a new multiplex that's, you know, within a 10-minute drive of my house, which is great. I like it. I'll almost certainly be going there for more movies. The They have kind of a non-traditional concession line area that's a little bit strange. That like the traffic flow when it's busy is not super obvious, but worked out okay. The movie itself, I liked quite a bit. What I will say, so no spoilers for the Black Widow movie, but what I will say is that it's funnier than I expected. Um, it's pretty good. Like some of the action, especially towards the end, does sort of I mean, like there's occasionally bits where you say Black Widow is supposed to be, like exceptionally trained, but otherwise not superhuman. And so some of the things that, she gets to be able to do seem like they would require some degree of invulnerability. But, oh well. And then there's also a few um, implausible action sequences, but nothing outside of the realm of what you see in these types of movies. So I'm not really complaining too much there. Also, what I will say is that like some of the new characters that got introduced there, I enjoyed quite a bit. I hope we see more of. Um, the only real criticism I have is not even about anything that takes place within the movie itself. And to an extent, you could argue that that's not a fair criticism. So I'll say that it's not a fair criticism of the movie, but rather the context surrounding the movie, which is same, namely that this movie is set in 2016. It is set after the events of Captain America: Civil War, but before the events of the Avengers: Infinity War. And that's when it should have come out. Frankly, like the fact that it took until now for them to finally release I guess Captain Marvel was the first, female star led movie, but even that came out after Infinity War, right? And it's just, spoilers for, Avengers Endgame, but Black Widow died in that movie. And so now to go back and now give her big solo movie feels like feels like a weird afterthought, and that just why though. Now, to like it was delayed some, and so maybe it would have felt less that way if this movie had been able to come out when they originally intended, which was much, before the pandemic happened. It was supposed to come out that, last summer. But that's still after, all of that other stuff. It's just, I don't know. So it's just one of those things where it feels weird to have this movie now because it feels like it should have come out in the actual time period in which it's set. And I don't know. I mean, that's I feel like that merits criticism of Marvel Studios, if not of this movie specifically. It feels like a movie that's like it's set then, and that's when it feels like it should have come out. But at the same time, given that it didn't, they didn't have it to release then. They should have, but they didn't. And so I would rather them go ahead and put it out now, like they have, than to just not make it at all. I like it enough that I'm glad it exists, even though, uh, it's. I did see one review that described it as not too little, but definitely too late. I tend to kind of agree. But I liked it, worth seeing. If you watch the Marvel movies, then yeah, no brainer, go for it. I'm glad I saw it in the theater, even though people you can get it with Premiere Access on Disney Plus. But I'm glad I saw it in the theater. But in any case, not everybody is able to easily do that right now safely. So use your own best judgment, stay safe. But I'm glad I saw it in the theater. In any case, I'm going to leave it there, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.